Hi my dear friends, welcome back to another Python tutorial class. And in this class also, we shall continue with the typecasting with the help of some other functions. For example, here what I've written is use set for typecasting converts to set. So using the set function, we can kind of typecast to set. So I've written here have to pass an iterable to the set. Okay. So that's what the rule is. You have to pass an iterable to the set. So here you have taken a string value, which is your shipping, and assigned it to this str1 variable, and print this str1 type str1 length of str1. Here you get the str1 value, which is shipping. What is its type? Its type is str type, that is string data type. And what is the length? 8, because here how many characters it has got this particular word? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you and for typecasting it to the set, you have to pass this str1 to this particular function set, store the result in s1, and then print s1 type s1 length s1. So here you see, here this set is displayed here. Print s1. So s1 is nothing but your set, that thanks to the set function you get here the set with curly brace opening and curly brace closing. Inside this you have the components. Again, the set function, as because here the iterable past is nothing but your string, a single string value. So here each and every letter of the string shall be treated as a separate component, and those will be displayed randomly, because instead there is no ordering as such. Okay, so that's why I, okay, G, S, P, H, N. Now do not wonder that where have the other characters have gone, because set does not allow duplicate values. Here you see I is how many times present in this? It is present two times, isn't it? So you can consider this one to be as a duplicate I. So this will be neglected out. This will be prohibited from the output result of set. That's why you see a single I. And same goes for P also. Here you can see how many P's are there. There are two P's. But when the set will be displayed, there will be only one P, because the duplicate P will be prohibited out. It will be taken out. So that's how it goes. So how many components are there? Like when you're type of S1 will give you the data type. That is, this belongs to the set data type. And alien of S1 means length of S1, how many components this set has got. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I, G, S, P, H, N. These are the 6 components of the set. That's why the length is here 6. Okay, just run it. Now moving into the next, here you have your list, and this list, when it is passed to the set function, then what will happen here? Inside this list you see what are the values. 10, 20, 30, 40. Then 10, 20, 30 are repeated again. So you have two 10s, two 20s, and two 30s. And when you typecast it to the set, that is pass L1 to the set function and print your results, that is S1 type S1 length of S1, then here you see set is displayed, duplicate values are prohibited out. No duplicate 10, no duplicate 20, no duplicate 30. These are the duplicates, these are taken out. Okay, and that's why the length here is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many components? 4 components inside the set. 40, 10, 20, 30. Whereas in the original list there were how many components? 7. 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30. Okay, just run it. Then if you come to this particular cell, tube is a variable. Inside this you have this tuple. Inside this tuple you have got these heterogeneous values, like this is a string value SQL. Then this is the Boolean value true. Equivalence of Boolean true is 1. Then here you have 0. Okay, which is an integer. Then here you have false, Boolean value. Equivalence, that is the equivalent value of false is 0. So here already you can see there is a duplicate value. Here you have 0, and this false, which equivalent integer value, is also 0. So internally there are two zeros here, and further also here also you have another 0. So there are three zeros. So two zeros are duplicates, and any one zero shall be kept in the output when we are typecasting it to the set. And here you can see here there is 1, and here already true is there. The equivalent integer value of true is 1. So 1 is already present. These are duplicate 1. So duplicate 1 will be taken out. Either true will be taken out or 1 will be taken out. Okay, because true and 1 will be treated as the same only. Here again you have true. So any one will be kept and any two will be taken out. Okay. So either one will be taken in and the two trues will be taken out, or any one true will be left and this one and this particular true, they will be taken out when typecasting it to set. So you can print this tuple. You can see how many print tup, type tup, length tup. So you can see this tuple is printed with its original values. Data type is tuple, length is 7. How many components this tuple has got? 7 components, because SQL, then true, then 0, 3, false is 4, 1, 0, true. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And pass this tube to this set function and then print it. When you print it, print the results, that is results are stored in S1, this will be set. So ultimately you see you get a set, and inside this the duplicate values are thrown out. So you have 0, true, you have ultimately 0, true, and SQL. Okay. The other true and 1 are taken out. The other false and 0 are also taken out from here if you compare. Okay. Then moving to this particular cell, here you have a dictionary, and again here you have keys to value pair. This is the key emp underscore name, employee name, and this is the employee name value, which is Anna, isn't it? It is a keys to value pair. So here this is the key emp underscore name, and this is the value. And the second keys to value pair is this one, emp underscore ID. This is the key, and this is the corresponding value. Hypothetical values taken here: employee name, supposingly the employee name is Anna, and employee ID, suppose the employee ID is 10, and this if you print it, you can see this is what, this is ultimately a dictionary. Okay. And here length, len, that is length of A1. How many keys to value pairs this dictionary has got? Two keys to value pairs it has got. This is the first keys to value pair, this is the second keys to value pair. So overall it has got two components. That's why here the length is 2. Now for typecasting it to set, you can pass this A1 to this particular set function. You can pass this A1 to this set function and then store the result in S1, print S1, type S1, len S1. And we know that when directly this dictionary is typecasted to something and when you print it, then directly you will get the keys only. So here in case of set function also, when you when you print S1, then you see what do we get? Set only we get here inside this. Here set only we get, and inside this set what do we have got? We have got just the keys of the dictionary, which is nothing but your emp underscore name. So emp underscore name. Okay. And emp underscore id. So here we have emp underscore id, and these are displayed randomly because they are in set. We know that there is no ordering, so results are displayed randomly without following any order. No values are printed. This we know. That is in case of dictionary, when you're trying to typecast it to something and you print it directly, you get the keys. So here we have got the keys. Data type is set as it can be seen from here, and length is 2. Two components this set has got, 1 and 2. Okay. And now if you want to directly, if you want to access the values, if you want to access the values of this dictionary, then what you have to do for typecasting it to set, this is the set function. Inside the set function you have to pass this particular dictionary variable a1, and a dot operator you have to use, and then give the values function. Okay. So here the values of a1, that is values of the dictionary, shall be typecasted to set, and results will be stored in s1, and then you can print s1, type s1, ln of s1, and here you get your set. Inside this we have got the values, that is 10, and here another value, that is Anna, and data type is set. Data type is set, and how many components has got? Two components. Okay. So run this, just yeah. Then come down to this particular cell again. Here you have a frozen set function, and inside the frozen set function I am passing what? I am passing an iterable, which is a list. Here inside this we have got 10, 20, 30, 10, 20. So we know 10, 20 was already present here, and again second time present here, duplicate values. So when you will print, these duplicate values will be prohibited out. Okay. So just print this frozen set fr1, type fr1, len of fr1. So you get the frozen set, and duplicate values are taken out. That's why here the length is 3. Here the length is 3 because how many components we've got? 1, 2, and 3. And here we had 5 components, isn't it? Now for typecasting is for typecasting it to set, pass fr1 to the set function and store the result in s1, and then print s1 type s1 alien of s1, and here the frozen set is typecasted to set as evident from this particular word class set. And here also the length will be definitely 3 because inside the frozen set output there were no duplicate values. Okay. Again, you have now suppose you have this range function, and inside this range function you have the start value which is 2, stop value which is 21. Stop value will be excluded, so 21 will be taken out. That is, it will be excluded out, and whatever is there before the stop value up to that only shall be taken into consideration. And this is the step size 2, so increment will happen by 2. 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 4 because start value is 2, isn't it? So when you print ran comma type ran, you get this range in default format 2 comma 21 comma 2, and data type is range, and typecast it to set. So using the set function, you pass ran inside it, and then store the result in s1, print s1 comma type s1. So you see the range function inside that, whatever the series of integer numbers is there, that will be printed. Starts with 2, then increments by 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Then 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 8, 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 2 12, then 12 plus 2 14, 14 plus 6 18, that is 14 plus 2 is 16, 16 plus 2 is 18, 18 plus 2 is 20. And it goes up to that particular value which appears just before the stop value. The stop value is 21, which is excluded out. Just before it 20 is there. Up to that it will go and the class is set. Okay. Then further if you come out, in same way, we can go for frozen set also, and iterable has to be passed in case of frozen set. Okay. So again, here you have this, as I've mentioned here, an iterable has to be passed. Okay. So here you have the string value, analytic nerd. Now you see, in case of analytic nerd, how many small a's are there? Two. Two small a's are there. Okay. So definitely that will be taken out, and any one will be kept. The duplicate will be taken out. Okay. So you just print this string value and you see analytic nerd. Okay. Class string length is 14. You can count the number of letters of this particular entire string value. Analytic nerd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Space is also included. So that is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now, for typecasting into frozen set, use just the frozen set function. Inside this, you pass your str1 and store the result in this variable fr. Print this fr, comma type fr, comma length of fr, and frozen set will do what? In case of string, this is a single string value. So each and every letter of this string shall be taken as an individual component and shall be printed with the condition that the duplicate values will be already filtered out by this frozen set. Okay, so here you see I you've got, D you have got. Okay, then L randomly because frozen set is also random. Okay, a is there, capital A is there. Okay, space, this is the space. This particular space is also a character inside a string. That is also taken. Then C, okay, that is C, R, Y, T, N. And here you see duplicate A is not there, only one single A is there. The duplicates A has been filtered out. E, N, okay. So as you can see, length is how much? 13. Previously length was here 14. So that's duplicate A, extra small a has been filtered out. Just run this cell. And similarly, you have this list. Inside this list, you have these values that is, 40, 20, 30, 50, 10. Up to this, no duplicate values. 70, 80. Now here you have these two duplicate values, 50 and 40. So pass this list L1 to this frozen set function, and when you print fr type fr length of fr, then you will get your frozen set. Again, for inside the frozen set, the values are displayed randomly without any order. So 70, 40, 10, 80, 50, 20, 30. Okay, and this is the data type, that is frozen set. And what is the length here? The length here is 7. And when you printed that list initially, when you tried to print L1, type L1, length of L1, then this L1 was what? This original list that got printed, and it had 9 elements. That is extra 50 and 40 were there. But when you typecast it to Frozenset and print, then those extra 50 and 40 have been filtered out, excluded out. Okay, run this. Then inside this you have your top, and again inside this you have your values 1, 0, 4, 4.4 Python, and then again another Python. So this is a tuple. Now tuple, you're trying to typecast the tuple to Frozenset. So use this Frozenset function. Inside this you pass your tuple so that the tuple can be typecasted to Frozenset. Print fr, type fr, length of fr, and you see Frozenset is printed. 0, 1, 4, 4.4, and one value of Python is already there. Okay, here initially when you printed the tuple, then the length was 6 elements were there inside the tuple. Now 5 elements are there after typecasting inside the Frozenset, because the duplicate Python has been excluded out. Okay. Then here now suppose you have a dictionary that is 1 is to 100, comma 2 is to 200, comma 3 is to 300. This dictionary is stored inside this variable dic. Okay, and print dic, comma type dic, and here you get your this dictionary. Here you get your dictionary. Okay, now pass this dic, which is your dictionary, to Frozenset so that you can typecast to the Frozenset, store the result in fr, and when you print the result, that is print fr, comma type of fr, then here you get your Frozenset 1, 2, and 3. These are the keys. These are the keys. Again, because it is a dictionary, when dictionary you're trying to typecast to a particular thing and directly print, then you will get the keys only, not the values. For values, you have to explicitly mention. Here, the data type is mentioned, class Frozenset. So now, if you want to see the values, use the Frozenset function. Inside this, you pass dic dot, then give the values function. Okay. So now the values of the dictionary shall be taken inside the inside this. Now the values of the dictionary will be taken from the dictionary, and they shall be typecasted to Frozenset. And here you go, Frozenset, and inside this you have the values. Like here the values are 100, then you have 200, then you have 300. So these values are printed here inside the Frozenset: 200, 100, and 300. And Frozenset is the data type. Okay, just run it, then come down here. Just like we used we typecasted range to set, now we can typecast range to Frozenset. Range is a function 2 comma 21 comma 2. We have seen how this operates and store this in this variable rn print ran comma type ran. So range is printed, data type is range. Now typecast it to Frozenset. So use the Frozenset function. Inside this you pass ran, and then print the result, because you're storing the result in fr, and which is the result. Now print fr comma type of fr. Type of fr means data type, that is Frozenset of what? This output that we get, output is what? Output is fr. Inside this we have got Frozenset, and in case of range, the series of, when you pass the range to Frozenset, then the entire series of integer numbers of range will be displayed, starting with 2, incrementing by 2, going up to 20, not up to 21, because 21 is the top value that will be excluded, isn't it? So just run this cell. Yeah. Now similarly you can go for use of bool for typecasting. Typecasts into Boolean. If you want to typecast into Boolean format, then we know in case of integer 0 is false, else true. In case of float, 0.0 is false, else true. Just have to remember these couple of rules. Complex, it is easy to follow these rules. 0 plus 0j or 0.0 plus 0.0j is false. Anything other than that, that is else, will be true. Now, in case of string, if you have something like this, that is these single quotes you have, and inside these single quotes you do not have any space. I repeat, inside these single quotes you do not have any space, then that will be treated as false, else true. Even if you have space inside this, then that will be true, because there is something inside it. Okay, this is for typecasting into Boolean. Then empty list. This is an empty list. This will be false, else true. Then this is an empty tuple. This will be false, else true. Then this is an empty dictionary. This will be false, else true. Then these are frozen set. Okay, inside this frozen set you have got nothing, so that's why it is false, else true. Anything else if there, then it will be true. Then you have range 0 or range 0 comma 0. This will be false, else true. Okay, now let us see. Print inside print function you have bool bull. That means boolean. That means it will typecast into boolean format. And for boolean function, this is a bool function, only boolean function. Inside this you pass this value 1. So something is there, like as I told you that 1 is integer here, 0 is false, else is true. That means 1 will be true. And when you are when you are passing 0 inside this bool function, then you get false, typecasts into false. 1 is true and 0 is false. Same with minus 0 also, you get false when it typecasts into boolean. Okay, boolean means true and false only. Here inside this you have got any value other than 0 or minus 0, that will be treated as true. Minus 1000 means true. Okay, run this particular cell, then come down here, then print bool, and inside the we pass 1.0. This is a float. Previously we were passing integer, now float number. Anyways, we know that in case of bool, 0.0 will be treated as false. Anything other than that will be treated as true. So this is treated as not empty only, that is 1.0, hence it is true. It is not 0.0, hence it is true. Okay, even you're passing 0.001, 0.001. So because at the end you have got this one value, means there is some value, there is some value, very very minute value, but it is not pure 0. That's why here again you get the, when you run it, then you will get true for this. Then here you have inside the bool function, I'm passing minus 0.0. 0.0 means 0 only, that is empty. So that is why it is false. Empty, I'm just saying this in a significance format, but it is not, it is 0. In this case, it is 0 ultimately. Okay, that's what it means. Here you have positive 0.0 means 0 only. That's why you get false. Okay, these are decimal values. Then you have print bool, and inside this you have a complex number 0 plus 0 j. Totally 0, real number is 0, imaginary number is 0. So what should it be? It should be false. Okay, now you have print bool 0 plus 0.8j. See, the real part is 0, the real component is 0, but the imaginary component is not 0. So overall, if you find out the magnitude of this total complex value, it won't be pure 0, it will have some value. That's why it will come here as true. Okay, because it is completely not 0. This complex number is not completely 0. Okay, then inside this you have 8 plus, then you see this 8 is the real value, plus here you have the imaginary value, 0 point so many zeros, you see how many, 1 2 3 4 5, after that you have 1, so 0 0.5 zeros, then 1, then j. So this is your imaginary value. So at the end, even after 5 zeros you have 1, so this overall won't be treated as a pure 0. That's why you will get true here in the output console. Okay, then print, and here you have bool, and inside this you see passing 0 0.0 plus 0 0.0 j. Real part is completely 0, imaginary part is completely 0. That's why it gives false. Okay, where there is complete 0, it will be false. Anything other than that, it will be treated as true. Okay, and then you have print, and bool, trying to convert it into boolean format, that is using the boolean function to typecast to bool. Here you have an empty string. Here you have a string, but an empty string. So that's why it gives false. Okay. Like for example, you do not give anything inside these quotes. So empty string, that's why it comes out to be false. Okay. Now here you see empty string is there, but inside the empty string you have got some characters, like these two dots are the two characters. That's why when you print it, you will get true. That is not completely vacant. Here, like it was completely vacant. Okay, that's why it came out to be as false. But in the second scenario, is it completely vacant? It's not. That's why it gives that gives it as true. Okay. Now here you see, you have this string because you have this quotes, this and this. Inside this you have 0. And the answer is when you print this and the typecasting is done into Boolean format, you get true. That means something is there. Why? You will think that, sir, there is 0, that my dear friend, there is 0 here. But in reality, this is a string value. And inside the string value, this 0 will be treated as a character and not as a value. Okay, something is there. Is it an empty string? Like here, this was an empty string. Is it an empty string? It's not. There inside this you have something like a character 0. So that's why when typecasting is done into Boolean format, this comes out to be as true. Okay. And here you see, this is empty quotes. Inside this you have this space. Inside this, if you give these empty quotes and then hit the space button on the keyboard, so is it an empty string? It's not. Inside these quotes, you have got some blank space. So even that is also a character. It's not completely vacant. That's why the answer here is true. Okay. Then further moving on, what are keywords in Python? See, in Python, keywords are designed as specific words that have some defined roles. Okay, reserved words which are treated as keywords in Python, which have some specific functions or roles, those are known as keywords. For example, this false, true, these are keywords. Then when you will run the for loop, then for the for loop, the for is a keyword. Then if loop, there when you will use the if else statement, if is a keyword, return is a keyword. Okay, while, when you will run the while loop, while is a keyword, this from is a keyword. Okay, how can you import keywords in your Python? Just you have to write this import and then write this keyword. So here what it will do, importing the keyword module. Okay, and under a module you will have several functions. So just import this keyword. Now, if you want to find out the list of keywords present in Python, then simply you have to write print keyword dot kw list. This particular argument you have to give here kw list, and this shall give you all the available reserved keywords that are there in Python. Once you start using them, you will get accustomed to them, like false, none, true, then here you have something like return. Okay, finally then you have try. Okay, while, that is when you will use the while loop, then while keyword, that will be used as your keyword only. Okay, next is what is an identifier? You see, an identifier refers to the name assigned to the variable, file, function, class, module, etc. Very simple. When you have a variable and an assigned and a name is assigned to it, that is an identifier. Same goes for a file. You have a file and a name is assigned to it, then that is an identifier. You have a function and a name is assigned to it, that is an identifier. You have a class and a name is assigned to it, that is an identifier. You have a module and a name is assigned to it, that will be an identifier. With variable also, you have a variable and a name is assigned to it, that will be an identifier. Okay, now what are the guidelines? What are the guidelines for naming identifier? There are some rules that you must remember. Number one, identifiers can start only with a letter or underscore. Okay, then second is identifiers can only contain letters like capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, underscores, and digits from 0 to 9. Okay, identifiers must contain only these capital A to capital Z or small a to small z, underscores, or digits from 0 to 9. Special characters or spaces are not allowed in identifiers. Okay, very simple, just by stating only this you can understand. Identifiers cannot start with any digit. Digit means 0 to 9. Identifiers cannot start with any digit. Then for defining identifiers, the reserved keywords should not be used whenever you're trying to name a variable, which is an identifier or file or something else. Then for identifiers, you cannot use the reserved keywords because they have got separate roles in Python. So Python might get confused. Case sensitivity affects identifier. For example, in case of here in Python, for identifier, small b and capital B are treated differently. Definitely. Now you see small b is 32, print b, and here that is you have included a character here. Okay, that is letter. B8. Here you have letter along with a digit, that is okay, is equals to 32. Here you have letters, there is Z and X, and between them you have got this underscore, so that is also fine, that is allowed. Then identifier can start with identifier can start with an underscore also. So here you have underscore, and here you have your variable X, and that is equals to 32. Okay, so this is an identifier, this is an identifier, this is an identifier, and this is an identifier. Values are assigned to them. Okay, and when you will print them, you get your desired results. Okay, and it is not allowed. You get here, you see in this particular cell, you get syntax error. Why? Syntax error, under what error it comes? It comes under the compilation error. Here you see, you're, you're trying to define an identifier. Okay, that is a variable. Either a variable you want to use, and you are giving a name to that variable, and that is what an identifier is. And whenever you name a variable, that becomes an identifier. Now, what inside this identifier, what kind of name you are trying to give? Starting with 7, that is starting with a digit, then you are, giving your letter. And what was the rule? The rule is that basically identifiers, this fourth rule, identifiers cannot start with any digit. So 7 is the digit, and identifier cannot start with a digit. That's why if you run it, you get your syntax error. Okay. Now, similarly, special case characters or space characters. Special case characters or space characters are not allowed in identifiers. Here, you're trying to use an identifier that is trying to name a variable and store a value 36 inside it. But here you're having a character X. Here you're having a character X, and in between them, you're trying to insert space character. There is space, so if you run it, you will get error because of the guideline. Same here. You're trying to define this identifier X at the rate Y. X is a letter, Y is a letter. Between them, you're trying to impose this special case character, and this will throw error. Identifier rule does not allow it when you're trying to assign a value like 39 to it. Okay, then here you have X minus Y. This minus is also treated as a arithmetic character, and that will be internally treated as a special case character, and this will again generate a syntax error. Okay. What you can do is that you can, if you give underscore, that is allowed. Anything else, not allowed. Letters you can keep. Okay, like minus y, if you give, here you get your syntax error. Okay, and then here you have example of input function. One is input function, that is input. This will take the input from the user. That's what I've written here. During runtime, the input function receives user input and returns a string result. So this input function, like here you can see, it will receive the input from the user and shall return an output in the form of a string. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here is, this is an identifier, inp, it is equals to input function. Inside this input function, I'm giving this input something, and giving a hyphen and then giving space, so that you can add something with a space here, and print inp comma type of inp. Okay, now if I run this cell, shift enter, input something, input anything like analytic. Okay, and then hit the enter button. You see, what do I get? First of all, this INP is printed. Inside this, what was being given? Input function, input something, then I gave analytic. So that entire thing comes up here. Input something hyphen, then space analytic. And ultimately, when I hit the enter button, then whatever I tried to enter, that comes up here. That is analytic, and it is of which data type? It is of string data type, str data type. Okay. Then here you have create a program that asks the user for integers and outputs the sum of those numbers. Now here x is a variable. Inside this, you're giving this input function. That is x is equals to input function. So it will take an input from the user. Like here, when I give this and this analytic. See, when I'm writing this analytic, I do not have to separately give the codes. This will be inherently taken as your string value only. Okay, and you hit the enter button, so analytic comes. Okay, yeah. So now create a program that asks the user, if you look into this particular cell, for integers and outputs the sum of those numbers. So here x is equals to input, And what you're asking, provide an integer. This will be displayed to the user. Provide an integer, hyphen is given, so that user can give a particular space is given for the user to enter something. And similarly here, y is another variable, and you're using the input function. And what you're asking is provide another integer. Provide another integer, and you're giving some space for the user to add. And z is equals to x plus y. Print z. What will happen here? You see, when you run this cell, that is hit the shift enter button, then first of all this one comes up, provide an integer. That's what the user sees, that okay, I have to enter an integer, so I enter 2, hit the enter button on the keyboard. Then the functionality moves to this next line, provide another integer. Another integer has to be provided by the user, so the user says okay, I'm providing another integer. Yeah, the user enters 3 and hits the enter button, and you see here 2323 occurs. Originally, what did I want? Originally I wanted the two integers to be added, because here it is z is equals to x plus y. 2 plus 3, 5 is the result that I expected, but here that is not happening. Why? Because here string concatenation is happening. When I'm entering here, when I'm running here, this and giving 2, then this 2 is taken as string. Hit the enter button, then next line goes, that is for y, provide another integer, give 3. This is also taken as your string value. So 2 is string, 3 is string, and in case of string, when you use this plus operator, then string concatenation will happen. So 2, when you hit the enter button, 2 and 3, they get concatenated with each other. X is 2, y is 3, and x plus y means string plus string, so string concatenation. So 2 gets concatenated with 3, like here you see, this is string 2 plus string 3, string concatenation happens, so you get string 2 3. So again, so what will you do? So you have to typecast it to the int function. You have to typecast it to the int using the int function. Okay. Here you can see, create a program that asks the user for integers and outputs the sum of those integers. Perform product and division also. Okay. So it's a good practice that already we know that when I give something like this, input provide an integer and I give some value like 2, then 2 will be stored inside x, but that will be in string format. So for type conversion from string to integer, overall outside what I do, int function I use here. Okay. So like for example, int. First of all, you give int, then inside this int function you write input function. Then for input function you write provide an integer. Give hyphen, give space, so that value can be inserted. Like uh, there is a separation, right? Like the user can understand that there is a space for me to add the integer value. Okay. And same you do for y also, give the int function. Inside the int function, give the input function and provide another integer. Then you do here z is equals to x plus y. So what should happen? Now x and y, both of them are integers, so even if you give 2 and 3, first of all that will be in string, then both of them will be converted into integers. Integer plus integer, 2 plus 3 will be 5, and you will get your result. And accordingly you can do your multiplication, z is equals to x into y, print the result, that is z comma type z, that is this particular z will be printed. And again you can do division also, z is equals to x plus x by y, and you can basically print this z type z, that is you can print this z. Okay. So just run this, provide an integer. This particular first one is coming up, I'm giving it as 2. This 2 will be taken as string, and then thanks to this int function will be converted into integer. Anyways, hit the enter button, then provide another integer, and you can provide another integer like another value 3. Internally it is taken as string, then thanks to this int function it shall be converted into 3. Hit the enter button, and here you go, 2 plus 3 is 5, then 2 into 3 is 6, 2 divided by 3 is 0 point all these 6. Okay. Then here you have similarly you can use the float function also, you can try it by yourself. Same thing, input function you give, inside this you pass this statement integer, that is a string statement, provide an integer. It should not be integer, it should be provide a float value. Okay. Same goes for y variable also. And yeah, this input function, this entire thing, you then pass it inside the float function. Okay. And like for example, just for one illustration purpose, float function you use, inside this you give input, and then write provide uh, provide a float value. Okay, and same here also for y float. Then inside this input function, provide another. It should be not an integer. Provide another float. Okay. So what will happen? Yeah, what when you will run this, initially it will ask this one, provide a float value. You will give some float value that will be taken as string and then converted or typecasted to float thanks to this float function. Same happens here also when this one will be asked. Then you will have to provide another float value that will be taken as string and then that will be typecasted to float. Now you can perform addition, multiplication, division. Okay, so let us see. Run this. You give, suppose 4. So this 4 internally will be taken as string and then it shall be converted into float. Actually here you have been asked to provide a float value, so you can give 4.2. Hit the enter button. This 4.2 has now been converted into float. Here you can give another float value has been asked, so you can give 2.3. Internally it will be initially, string, and then it will be typecasted to float. This 2.3, hit the enter button, and here you go. You can use a calculator to cross check all these results you get for addition, multiplication, and division. Okay, then we know an example of output function is print function. An example of output function is this print function. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is print xyz. XYZ is an identifier. The definition is okay. The way I'm declaring it, it is okay. But has it been initialized anywhere? Has it been initialized anywhere? It has not been initialized anywhere. There is no value has been provided to it. So that's why when you run it, name XYZ has not been defined. No value has been provided to it. For any identifier or variable, you have to provide some value to it. Okay. Then comes here this one. Here x is equals to 5, y is equals to 15, z is equals to x plus 5, z1 is equals to x into y, z2 is equals to x by y. Now, when you're trying to print x, comma y, comma z, comma z1, comma z2, all these things, x, y, z, z1, z2, comma, then here I have this operator you have sep. Sep stands for separator. Sep stands for separator. There is all these values will be separated from each other by this comma. Okay, this comma will be the separator that will be used to separate all these values from each other, and you have to use these quotes. Inside the quotes you have to give comma. Like if you don't give, what will happen? You see all these values you are getting, all these values of addition, multiplication, there is x, y, z, no, z1, z2, all these things you're getting. Is there any separator between them? Nothing. So just only space is there. Now I write this operator sep is equals to, and what separator I want to use? I want to use the comma separator. So you have to give it in the string format and then run it. Now you see all these values are separated from each other by commas. Further, you can add any space before this comma and run it. Now you see like this you get 5 space comma, 15 space comma. If you want to further modify it, after comma you want to give space, that also you can do. Run it. You see 5 comma space, 15 comma space, 75 20 comma space, 75 comma space, and the last is 0 point, all these threes. Then you have these x is equals to 5, y is 15, z is equals to x plus y, means 5 plus 15 is 20, z1 is x into y, z2 is y minus x. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is print, then inside this x comma, then this operator end is equals to, inside the quotes I'm giving comma. Okay, let me first explain it. Then you go to the next line, print, and then you give inside the brackets y comma end is equals to, and this asterisk. Now, first of all, what will happen? Let us focus. Let us forget about the asterisk. First, for focus on this comma. First, x will be printed. So x value is what? 5. This will be printed. After that, what will come? This comma will come. So after 5, this comma will come, and then after this comma what will happen? This y value is what? This y value is 15. That will come up after the comma. Okay, then you're after y you're giving here what? This end operator. End is equals to asterisk, so asterisk will come after y, asterisk will come after y, And what is the value of y? Value of y is 15. So after 15, you have this asterisk that comes up. Okay. Then print z. Now z value is x plus y, 5 plus 15, that is 20. So 20 comes up immediately after the asterisk. Okay. Then after z, you're giving comma, end is equals to, end operator is equals to, then you're giving this single quotes. Inside the single quotes, you're giving space and then backslash t. This is for tab space. This is for tab space. Anyways, so after z, that is after 20, there will be the tab space. That's why you give such a huge amount of space here after 20. And after this huge tab space, what will come up? This z1 value will come up just besides it. What is z1? X into y. 5 into 15 is 75. That's what will come up just besides this entire huge tab space, isn't it? And after z1 is 5 into 15, there is 75. After z1, what you have? End is equals to plus. So after z1, that is after 75, this plus operator will come up. Okay. And after this plus, what will come up? After this plus, z2 will come up. Z2 is equals to y minus x. That is 15 minus 5, that is 10. That's what will come up here. Okay. So try to run it. Yeah. Then here again, x equals to welcome string value, y is equals to all, and here you give print x comma end is equals to, that is print x. So first of all, x will be printed, that is welcome. That welcome will be printed. Then end operator I'm using is equals to, then inside this quotes I'm giving a space. So after welcome, space will appear. After welcome, space will appear. Okay, after welcome, space will appear. And besides that, what will come up? In the very next line, I'm writing print y. What is y? All. So all will come up after the space, just besides it. So all of them, what I'm trying to say is all of them will come up in one particular line in the output console. Okay. Then suppose this is in the, you run it, then in the next cell, this is my requirement is, suppose output, the result is 36. So x is equals to 17, y is equals to 19, z is equals to x plus y. Print, and this is how you can print it. The result is, inside the quotes you give, the result is, then the quotes are completed, comma, and then you give your variable name, like here z is the output variable, so the value of z shall be printed here. So the result is nothing but here z is equals to x plus y, that is 17 plus 19. 17 plus 19 will be what? 36. So first the result is, this will come up, then automatically space will also come up. You don't have to give a space because here you have given the comma, and then Python will understand the result is the string that it will print, and then give the numerical value of z, which is nothing but your 36. Okay, so just run this, and then come up here, like output, the addition of 17 and 19 is 36. So in this format also you can give x equals to 17, y is equals to 19, z is equals to x plus y, and print. Then inside the print function, print as a function only, output function, you give this word f, then you give the quotes, like here opening quote, here give the closing quote, and then inside it the addition of, then inside the curly brace pass this first variable x, and then inside this second curly brace pass this variable y, is then you give this another curly brace, inside this you pass this variable z. Okay, and you will get your result. So what will come up here? The addition of, the addition of, then x value, the value of x shall be taken here. That's why you see value of x is 17. That's what comes up here. After that, and then here you have inside the curly braces y. So the value of y will come up here, which is 19. Is, then after is, what do you have? After is, you have this z inside the curly braces. So the value of z will come up, which is nothing but here 36. Okay, so just for your sake of clarity, inside the print function, you give if, then give the quotes, the addition of curly braces x and curly brace y is again curly brace z. So here the addition will come up, of will come up, and for x the value of x will come up here. So the addition of 17. Okay, and and Then again inside the curly brace you are having y, so the value of y 19 will come up, and again you have the is will come up after 19, and after that you have inside the curly braces z, so the value of z will come up here, which is nothing but your 36. Okay, so that's why run it, and yeah. And then another format is also like dot format function. The same thing, the addition of 17 and 19 is 36. X is equals to 17, y is equals to 19, z is equals to x plus y. And here use the print function. And inside the print function, what you give here is you give the quotes. You give the quotes here, quotes end. Okay. The addition of the addition of then here you give blank curly brace, and again blank curly brace is blank curly brace. The quote end here, single quotes end here. Then you have to give the dot operator, and here you have to use this function format. So what do I want here to appear? I want the value of x to appear here. So that's why x. Then here, what do I want to appear? I want the value of y to appear here. So that's why here y. Then in this third curly brace, what do I want? I want the value of z to appear here. That's why the third variable here is z. Okay. So the order is followed here. The first variable is x. So this first variable is x. So its value will be taken and shall be used up here for this first curly brace. Second variable is y, and the value of y shall be taken for this second curly brace. Then the third variable is z, and the value of z shall be taken for this third curly brace, that is this one. Okay, and you print it, you see the first one is 17 because first I'm passing x, value of x is 17, 17 will be taken up here, so the addition of 17, and then the second variable is y, value of y will be taken, that is 19 shall be taken up here, so ultimately you get here the addition of 17 and 19. Then this is appears here, so here also you will get your is, and after that this third variable z, whose value is x plus y, that is 36, that should be taken up for this third curly brace, and it appears here 36. Okay, so that's it for this class. If you have understood this class, then you can hit the like, share and subscribe button and press the bell icon for notifications. Any doubts you can leave them in the comments, I shall answer. So thank you.